OK. Tak jdem na to. Hello everybody, welcome on a Billions Club, on the first ever stream. My name is Jan, I'm trader at Billions Club, and what we're gonna do today is we're gonna have a look at a BTC chart, gold chart, and Euro USD chart. We'll do some TA, we will check some news, some fundamental analysis, but also I'll show you my levels that I'm paying attention to right now, and potentially if we will have any nice setup, we can trade live and we'll see how it goes. So welcome and enjoy today's stream. Hopefully everything should be running well. You should see my screen right now. We are on the EXA charts. If you don't know what is the EXA chart, today we will have enough time to talk about all of these things that I use in my trading system, in my trading strategies. So feel free to ask. I see the chat here on the right side. So I will also be answering any potential questions you can have. So we're gonna start on a BTC since I've been trading BTC the most in the last few days. So I'll show you what were the trades that I was taking and what are levels that I'm paying attention to overall today, what is the scenario that I'm looking for, and we're gonna do a little bit of a market breakdown, basically what's happening on a BTC. Then we're gonna have a look at the gold chart, and after gold chart I have completely blank Euro USD chart. I haven't been trading Euro USD in last 10 days, so we're gonna have a look at Euro USD and I'll show you some of my TA, some of the approaches that I use in trading. I'm a day trader, so we're gonna talk about all of these things. Anyway, let me know if you can hear me, let me know if you can see me. Hopefully everything is running well. I think it should be. Let's start on 4-hour time frame and let's start analyzing what's happening on Bitcoin. We can delete some of the old levels that we have here because we don't need them anymore, obviously. We got a pretty nice movement to the upside in last few days, approximately around 20%, 25 potentially, something like this. So just checking the chat if everything is running well. I think it should be yes. All right, perfect. Okay, so 4-hour time frame, we got a pretty nice reaction out of this demand zone that we got around 24-25k. We got plenty of confluences around these levels, so this was a pretty clear zone on the chart. Honestly, what I don't like so much about these zones, when something is really obvious, usually it gets front run or overrun, meaning that you have a zone on the chart and it goes even lower from here and it don't get any reaction. Basically this time we tap the level perfectly and we're gonna move out of it to the upside. If you are following some of my trades on Twitter, for example, you know that I've been longing this swing failure pattern down there and this one right here. I've been also posting these trades to a Billions Club Discord, so don't forget to join our Discord community. You'll find a link below. But back to the TA, we gotta move to the upside. We broke the previous structure that we created right here, so we've been basically in a downtrend for the last few months. We are changing the structure now, clearly closing above this supply zone right here, which is a pretty bullish sign for us. And in the upcoming days, I'm definitely gonna be rather longing instead of shorting because you know, is this a place for a short? Well, in my opinion, not yet. We need to get right confirmation. So if you want to be talking about some day trades, I'm talking only about longs, or I'm thinking only about long trades here instead of taking some aggressive short. Doesn't really make sense to me. But let's analyze what's happening up here. So we're going to check some supply zones. As you can see, this is the reason why we stop here. If I'm going to show you what's the level, what's the reason, we're going to zoom in to this previous supply zone. What you want to do most of the time is you want to refine your entry, refine the level. So basically the supply and demand that you have here, so this time I'm talking about supply, since the level is above us, it got to move to the downside. So supply basically is this whole price action here, okay? If we want to refine the level, we can use two zones. First one on 4-hour chart. First one is going to be this one, and the second one will be one a little bit above it, okay? So we're going to pull it to the right side, like this. There are multiple ways how you can find these levels. One of them is simply using the 4-hour time frame and trying to spot a candle formation, how it closed, etc., etc. Another way how you can do this is by using horizontal levels. We're going to be covering both of these approaches of supply and demand and horizontal levels in our learning section, Learning Academy, where I'm going to be breaking down how you can find these zones, on what time frame you should use them, etc., etc. So stay tuned. We will break it down from A to Z. But anyway, right now, let's talk about these two zones because they are very, very important and they will be deciding the next move, if we will continue to the upside or we will stop here for a while and we could potentially be looking for some retracement. So we tapped this zone, as you can see, pretty perfectly, 4-hour time frame. We tapped into this and we got a decent retracement out of this level, so approximately 2.3%. So we know that we are hitting resistance. That's the thing we're gonna start with. Right now we know that we are hitting resistance on a BTC chart. So is this a short? Well, think about it like this. You continued last few days, you've been simply trending to the upside without any retracement at all. So most likely chart is never moving straight to the upside, okay? So most likely at some point we will get retracement, retracing the price, testing some of the levels that we created, and then potentially we're gonna get another move to the upside. There is plenty of space for some decent retracement, but is it likely it's gonna happen right now? Well, not really in my opinion, and today during the US session I'm expecting another move to the upside. I will explain why, what TA I used for that, but simply said, I don't have a bearish bias yet, okay? We need to change some structures here before going any lower. So we can start with the idea that we will eventually get a retracement. There is a pretty nice zone to be filled, fair value gap. Basically you see how we get like a crazy move to the upside here without any retracement, without filling the gap here. Okay, so this would be first zone that I'll be looking for to fill, and obviously we have a lot of them down there. So eventually these movements to the upside gets tested. Will it be now? Will it be tomorrow? Hard to tell. But once we're gonna change the structure, once we're gonna flip important zones, we could start to be looking for retracement on a chart, meaning looking for a move like this. If we go to the lower time frame, now let's start talking about the exact levels that I'm paying attention to and exact levels that can reverse this move, or that can start the retracement. So this is the resistance number 1, we can refine it. This is the resistance number 2. You see that also this one retraced, now getting movement to the upside. So the zone that is holding the chart from coming any lower right now is the demand that we have right here on the 15-minute time frame. What you can do if you can be really aggressive and you want to refine your entries as much as possible, you can go to the 5-minute and you can select this candle right here, because this one basically they flipped the zone right here. I consider this candle as a first demand, okay? So you see tap number 1 twice here, tap number 3 and 4 with the retest. So potentially we can say that there is a lot of liquidity, okay? Below these levels there will be a lot of liquidity. But now let's talk about more advanced way how you can spot liquidity, because obviously just by using price action you can do that, but you can't be so precise. So we're gonna add more advanced things into this. You're gonna start with this, which is a footprint chart showing you the data from the exchange. Right now we are talking about, or we are charting Bybit chart. Okay, so we are getting data from Bybit, even on TradingView, same on the exit charts. So a few things that I'm checking. Net longs will be thing number 1. We got a pretty obvious longs opening at around 11 a.m. my time, so UTC +2 zone. And right now, we basically regged all of them kicking them out of the positions, creating locust swing failure pattern, below these lows, grabbing the liquidity, and now getting reaction out of this, okay? What I'm looking for right now, is there a lot of liquidity? Well, not really, because they are kicked out already. The one that was created here is grabbed already, and if you check open interest, there is not really any open interest massive increase. So if you are talking about liquidity and we want to see a lot of liquidity being built, we need to see a lot of open interest come into the market, which once again, right now this is not happening, so it's not really giving me any big chance for potential swing failure pattern. That's the thing number one. Thing number two is that right now we are already quite far away of this level. Here down there, you got zero confirmations in my strategies to go long. So simply I'm sitting on my hands, staying on the sidelines right now and not taking any potential trades, just because that sometimes the best trade is just no trade at all, right? And this is exactly what I'm doing today. I'm just not taking any single setup because there is not any potential setup at the moment as we are speaking. We may be getting some potential trades during the US session, so we'll see how it goes in a few minutes/hours. But the level that I'm paying attention to today that is very likely to be hit, and we have a 60% chance that this level will be tapped today, is this poor high that we created in the morning. So the poor high is up here. That's why I mark out a line here. Let me also mark this with a liquidity level, because there will be some liquidity above the level. And basically the plan is we can either get moved to the downside if we're gonna create like a really nice swing failure pattern, meaning if you are following my YouTube channel or you are in my Discord group, you know how I trade. So I will be looking for SFP with the confirmations that we have below this line. If we will have that, I could potentially be looking for a scalp long targeting the opposite side of this range, which is going to be the liquidity level up here. If you're not going to get this and you have no clue what I'm talking about, then definitely don't forget to join the Billions Club Discord, because once again, I'm posting my TA every single day here into the Discord channel, showing you the liquidity levels, how I found them, and some important zones, absolutely for free. So check it out. But right now, the only trade is swing failure out of these two zones. Okay, that's the only setup. I can create alerts around these zones. So we will do SFP long. A small tip that I always use is I'm presetting right now. I'm gonna be on a stream, so I will be monitoring the chart. But if you want to go out, for example, I don't know, you are trading home and you want to leave for 10-15 minutes, always set your alert a little bit above the level so you can actually get back to the chart, back to the PC at the right time. Because if you're going to preset it exactly on this line that you have here, then what may happen is you're going to miss the trade completely, and basically your chance will be out. Basically you won't take the trade that you are looking for the whole day, that you are so patiently waiting for. So this is very, very important to just preset the alert a little bit above this line. So if you are out and it will take you 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe to get back to your trading station, be ready for that. The second trade, second level that I'm looking for, like I said, swing failure above this zone up here, getting the SFP and taking a short out of this zone. So this is going to be SFP short zone. That's basically it. We have two levels, and right now what we can do is we can monitor what's going to be happening in between, but we're not going to take any trade because we have the plan, we know what we are looking for, and that's basically it. You just need to be very patient as a trader, and if you don't have any opportunity, then you're not going to be taking any setup. Right now what's happening on the chart is that we could be potentially grabbing liquidity above this high here, getting the swing failure pattern, meaning getting the entry confirmation, so you can start looking for a move like this. But do you want to take short here? Well, was it the initial plan that you set before the session? For me it wasn't, so I'm not going to take it, because this happens a lot when you are starting out. You are impatient and you want to be taking some trades even though they are not on a chart. So if you don't see the setup, if you don't see the trade before you're actually going to start your trading session, that's why it's so important to prepare for it. That's what we do right here. If you're not going to prepare for it, then you will be taking random setups on chart. And this zone looks kind of decent, but we have the plan that overall we are looking for a move like this, hitting potential like 31K level. But right now there is not any opportunity. And I don't want to be catching moves that, firstly, I don't have statistics on. So I don't know my probabilities on both of these trades, either long or short. I know that there is a certain chance that I'm going to win the trade. But right now on this setup, the only thing that I have is potential swing failure, which is not enough confluence for me to enter into position. So I'm not going to enter here. I can tell you what are the things that I'm looking for. We are talking about some trap value area, delta, volume, all of these things. The confirmation is here, so most likely we're gonna get move like this in the upcoming minutes, but I'm gonna rather be looking for a trade like this, long out of the zone, and targeting the opposite side, something like this. I'm just showing you an example of how it could potentially look, but I don't want to be catching a trade like this. Okay, this is not the trade that I'm looking for. I don't have enough confluences to go short on this one. So on a BTC, I think the plan is clear. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna open the chat because I can't see it here on the right side. So I'm just gonna check chat if we have any questions here and that I can potentially answer. Oh, okay, so I see that the chat is actually turned off. So let me check if I can. All right, so I'm trying to open the live chat. I'm not 100% sure if you can see it or not, but it seems that the chat is not running. All right, so what we can do is that you can join our Discord, and if you have any questions about the things that I'm showing here, I'm gonna be answering the questions in the Discord community. So I'm just gonna log in. And I'm gonna answer all of your questions that you potentially have about my strategy, about how I trade, or about the things that I just showed you on a BTC chart. So I'm just gonna log in. Give me 1 minute and we're gonna continue on gold chart. All right, so I'm logged in. Once again, if you have any questions, go to general chat in a Billions Club Discord, and I'm ready to answer your questions here. I see that we have something in live trading. Yes, all right. Okay, so yeah, feel free to ask. I'm gonna check my group if you have any questions here. The stream is live, everything should be going. All right, so let's open gold chart and let's analyze a little bit more what's happening on gold. I'm gonna delete the levels that I have here. And what I wanna do is right now really give me your 100% attention and turn off all the distractions you have around you, because I wanna show you how I'm spotting these levels, how I'm spotting these zones, but most importantly, how I'm marking out market structure, since basically going with the trend automatically will give you more probabilities all the time than trying to go against it. So I'm always trying to go with a local trend. Obviously, it depends if you are a day trader, it depends if you are a scalper or a swing trader, because you will be catching different type of market structure basically. But right now, we are trying to look for potential trade setups on a day trading basis, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on a blank chart right here. We're gonna zoom it out a little bit, and we are starting on a daily time frame. I'm gonna mark out this very important supply zone that started this whole push to the upside again. All right, so this is gonna be the zone for me between 1914 down to 1980.98 actually. So that's gonna be the zone I'm gonna be paying attention to. Why this one is so important? Well, because price got moved to the upside, stopped here for a little bit, it'll be better on the 4-hour time frame. Impulsive move to the upside, stopped for a while, and then we broke this previous high, very, very important high here. So this broke the structure locally, and it continued in the uptrend. So this level, there was like a high demand in buying. That's why I'm marking this level as important zone, and most likely it will get some reaction once we're gonna get to the zone again. So I'm gonna mark this with BOS, break of structure, and what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna refine the level to this candle right here. So this is the refined zone, approximately 1900 is the zone that I'm gonna be paying attention to, 19 to like 1888. That's gonna be the zone for potential longs that could start the retracement to the upside. We're gonna talk about this. So we're gonna stick to the 4-hour time frame right now, and we're gonna mark out the break of a structure that we got on the gold. So right here, this may seem as a liquidity grab, and without basically breaking the level, right? One could say, okay, this is a liquidity grab. I'm expecting price to go to the upside, to the higher prices, because it grabbed the liquidity, and it's very likely it's going to continue higher. Well, not really. Check what I was posting like 5 days ago inside Discord, specifically about the gold chart. I will try to see the chat right now, trying to find it. All right, I just found the message. So I'm gonna start sharing the screen with the Discord, and I will show you exactly how I found that gold is going from 1960 to 1932. Very easy TA, it's just a level to level trading. So like this, going to the Jan channel, and I'm gonna start sharing the screen. Give me a second. Once again, you can find all of this for free in our Discord. Don't forget to check it out. So it's gonna be right here. Okay, so you should see my screen right now. You should see the Discord, and I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit. I'm gonna show you what I was posting. So, like I said, 1932 was the level. Come in right here, and I sent this gold currently on crucial support. Once we lose it, looking all the way down to 1932, you have it here. At the time we were at 1953, so it was a $20 movement. It's basically the completely same scenario that we have right now on a BTC chart. So let's break it down a little bit more, because I want to show you, this is pretty easy actually. This is basic stuff, basic things, how you can be predicting where price could potentially be going once it loses some level. And in this case, for our time frame, it was right here, 1965. So like I said, we're gonna start right here because this is very important. What I need to see to confirm that this level is broken is we need to see candle closing below this zone, which you get a close right here. It's clearly closing below this level. This confirms me that, okay, right now, most likely I'm gonna switch bearish for next few days / weeks. It really depends on where you are on the chart and what time frame you use. Since we are using 4-hour, instead of saying next few weeks, I would say next few days, okay? So we can create bias that in the next few days, we could be heading below this low that we just created. Price gets some retracement. This is a nature movement or standard movement that you see all the time on a chart. The price never moves like this. I was talking about this earlier in the stream, but you get a move like this, and it's followed up by retracement. Once again, new low created right here, retracement, new low created, and this is basically a market structure. So all it is about is just simply spotting what's likely to happen next after breaking this low here. So we broke on the low. What's the next zone where I'm going to be looking for? Well, the zone number 1 is going to be right here. But this candle is pretty big, right? It's not really telling you anything. So you have better zone that started this whole move to the downside, which is here. So this is the resistance number 1 that you have. What you can do, you can refine your entry. This is exactly what we did. Once again, showing you the Discord. Look, this is the box. This gray box, 1966 to 1964. That was the zone. How I found it? Well, very simply, you are going to a lower time frame, 1966 to 1964. You see that this is the box that we have right now, but we want to refine the entry on a 1 hour time frame. So I'm just going to select this point here, 1966 to 1964. This is my resistance. Do I want to be trading here? Well, honestly, I wasn't, and I was taking a short out of this zone here, and I got stopped out, because this is exactly what you need to wait for. You need to wait for confirmation, and I was like too aggressive on this trade without getting like a proper price action change on market structure change. I was taking the setup, and I was too aggressive on this one. So I took 1 hour on this position. It's absolutely fine, because the next trade that you could have been taking is this one, the low here, or the supply here with the demand. So this is your demand. This is going to be your supply up here. This is your supply. And it's a level to level trading. Once we're going to lose this, do you have any support on this move to the upside? Well, the only support that you have is down there. There is nothing in between, so you can't be expecting that the price is going to get some bounce between these two levels. And right now we are playing like kind of a ping pong between these two levels. It's very likely it's going to continue between these two levels. Obviously your last trade will be losing one. If you're going to be shorting the top and long in the bottom, you will long here with a target here, and you will do the same up here. So you will go short, target with the opposite side. Very simple trading, and it can be pretty effective. But let's play the replay mode, because once we close below this level, it becomes much more bearish. So right here we are clearly closing below these levels. What you can do, so obviously you can enter a position here with a stop loss back in a range, looking for levels down there. But it's not a good risk and reward trade. So once again, you want to find more refined entries. So you can do something like this. It really depends on what you use, but you can do something like this to look for a move like this. It all depends what strategy you use. It all depends what confirmations you use. Sometimes you can get front run, which I don't even remember if this was the case here. No, you get filled up here. We can do a breakdown of this setup, how you can take trades like this. You can maybe do like some backtesting after the stream. This is like a pretty simple stuff. What you are looking for is simply we close below this level right here. We flipped the zone. Right now we have a new supply. So instead of supply that I was marking up here, you're gonna move it here, because think about it like this. What is a supply? Well, supply on a zone is a zone where a lot of people started shorting. So it's either going to be like a big players, banks, institutions, or there was a big group of people that started shorting. Most likely it's going to be bank or institution. How can I say that? Well, here they grab the liquidity. Okay, so basically the people that started selling here, they got stopped out, grabbed the liquidity, filled the big positions right here, and you flip the zone. So this is a strong zone because it flipped this box that was holding this price action the whole time. So this gets flipped. Now this becomes a strong resistance. A resistance is a zone where you want to be shorting. Potentially you could be looking for shorts. So you flip the zone, retest it. You can either enter here, or you can go to even lower time frame to refine your entry even more. Means that you have some supply here. It gets tested here, and it gets moved to the downside. This is not really what I would do. I would be looking simply for the short out of this zone, getting a move down. But it's all about, in the end, it's all about preparing for your trade days in advance. Because if you know exactly what you are looking for, you're not going to be confused. You can get stopped out, but that's absolutely normal in trading. You can get stopped out a lot of times, but obviously if you have a good risk and reward, if you have proven strategy with a decent strike rate, so you have a win rate, 50% plus, it doesn't have to actually. You can have a trade, or you can be trading with a strategy below 50%, but you need to have a nice risk and reward, obviously. Usually the risk and reward that I'm taking on my positions is around 2.5. 3 is like a decent trade already. But the risk and reward is very, very important. And to me, it's more important than win rate itself. Because you can have a, low win rate, but you can have 5 risk and reward. So you will once you hit your take profit, you will make 5 times more than on a trade that was a losing one. And it all depends on your trading style, which you prefer. For example, myself, I don't really like strategies with like a really high risk and reward, but a low win rate, because what you can expect, for example, if you have 30% win rate. So out of 10 trades, most likely 7 of your trades will be losing ones, okay? And it can get you emotionally a little bit, because if you keep losing trades again and again and again and again, it's pretty hard to handle this style of trading from emotional perspective or from a psychology perspective, in my opinion. So I'm targeting for strategies with 50+% win rate, and I'm using strategy with around 65-70% win rate with not so good risk and reward. But me myself, I have a better result with this than actually trading like a high risk and reward strategies with low win rate, me personally. I'm gonna check Discord right now if we have any questions here. I don't see any, but nope, not really. Okay, so let's continue in a TA, because I've been talking too much about this prediction down. All right, so we flip the zone. This is gonna be now our strong high. Actually, it's gonna be here. BOS, no, it's gonna be up here. Yeah, this is gonna be the strong high on the gold chart. So as soon as we are below this, we are still in a downtrend, and I'm still expecting price movements lower out of this zone. But let's talk about the zone where it can bounce. So once again, we found this level. Do we have anything else? Well, for our time frame, we could be looking for a zone here, which could be valid. But for me, the more valid zone would be this one. And this is basically where we stopped right now. Okay, so if we extend the chart or extend the box to the right side, we got a bounce already around $40, $45, something like this, maybe 50 actually. So $50 up, another touch, kind of liquidity grab, breakout structure, going back above this zone. What's important right now is that we don't have any trade or any potential setup for a long trade out of here, and you are going heavily against the trend. So only trade that I'm looking for is going to be catching another impulsive leg out of this zone. So what is a strong zone right now? Well, it's not so clear here. Zone number 1 I'm going to be looking for is going to be something like this. Maybe this one would be a little bit better, but this one is tapped already, so this one is mitigated here. This one is not yet, so this could be potentially zone here, and then the next one would be this one here, but this one is mitigated too. What I mean by mitigated is that a level got hit already, so there is no trade too. You know, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's really better to just wait without catching like trades that are not so high probability and that are like against your strategy, because how it should be is you should have a system with proven data, meaning I have this and that win rate for last 10 years. You need to do backtesting, right? So you need to backtest your strategy. I have this and this win rate, so I have this and this chance that the trade is going to play out. Then I need to know my risk and reward. So I need to know that in order to be profitable with this strategy and in order to have like a nice returns, I need to be taking trades with 2.5 risk and reward at least. And if I have a trade below that, I'm not going to take it. But this is where it becomes a little bit more like a tricky, I would say, because sometimes you need to be really patient and you need to be able to wait a few days to take your positions, which, you know, it can happen quite a lot of time that you will be just waiting, but you are waiting for the highest probability trade with a trade that is in favor with your entry rules that you have. How can I find my entry rules? Well, I need to find my strategy. I need to find what I use. So it will depend, but firstly, without doing any backtesting, you're not even going to touch your live account. You need to know a strategy. You need to have a proven system that works in the long run. Here, this can be classed as a liquidity grab. So potentially, we could start looking for a move to the upside out of this. So move like this potentially. Then looking for something like this. This would be a scenario. I'm not saying I'm going to take short here. I need to find like an entry model. But right now, this is the only potential trade I'm going to be looking for. Retracement back to this zone, taking a short out of this zone, and targeting a new low here. It's not long. This is not short as we are speaking for me. It may be for you, but it's not for me. All right, so we did BTC. BTC is not doing anything at all. We are, like I said, we are hovering around this zone. If you would go short on this swing failure, you would get stopped out because the trade would be like this. This would be your stop loss. You're looking for liquidity here. 5 risk and reward, you would get stopped out. This is exactly why I said I'm staying on the sidelines, because right now this is not a high probability trade. This is it. Okay, so gold chart, sorry, Euro USD chart, we just did gold chart. So Euro USD, 4-hour time frame. This is usually where I start my TA. When I'm going from a blank chart, I want to see the overall trend, the overall order flow, where the market is trying to go. Here, what I can see is that we continue the downtrend. Here we flip the trend. The flip was right here. So you get your break of a structure. That happens here. And once you get this, you are looking for continuation to the upside. So you are playing ping pong between these two levels. This is your level number 1, the strong low, and this is going to be the weak high. We broke the level, so this is a break of a structure, and you are moving your level here. Just showing you a little bit of how I'm looking for like a structure on a chart, okay? So I'm simply trying to spot where it started to move to the upside. It was here, so this was a demand. Down there. And it gets moved to the upside of this. So demand started to move to the upside, break of a structure, retracement, hit the level, swing failure, and move up. Here in this case, the strong swing low is going to be this, okay? Can I mark this as a weak high? Well, not yet, because we don't have any retracement at all. What you need to see is you need to see price moving like this. Up, retracement. In this case, we are right now still on the up phase, so we don't have any retracement yet. This is not a retracement for me. I need to see at least something like this. All right, so overall bias to the upside. Daily time frame, trying to spot where we can potentially reject. So supply zone number 1, mitigated, move up out of this 4-hour chart. Looks like this. All right, so the zone would be here, trying to refine the level like this, and we got a liquidity grab. So what this means, well, do I want to short? Kind of, because you are starting to get retracement. Most likely you are looking for move like this right now to basically mitigate the zones that we have down there. So this is going to be the zone that I will be looking for to get tapped, potentially get a move to the upside out of here. You need to go to the lower time frame and you need to see what is happening on lower time frames here. So break of a structure right here. This gives you your strong high. So the strong high is going to be right here. This is your zone number 1, where you could be looking for a short. It's not mitigated yet. So I'm just going to preset an alert here. And we'll see how it goes. This is going to be your second zone here. Actually, it's going to look like this. The better thing is that it was kind of mitigated already, so it's tested, but not like completely tested, right? You need to see at least something like this. So valid zones, we just need to wait if we will actually hit these levels. Then we could potentially be looking for a move like this. Something like this, but I will be looking for entry model on a 1 minute time frame. Back to the BTC, we are done on Euro USD. We have the structure, we have the important levels. That's all we need, honestly. This zone is definitely a stronger one because it flipped the trend, right? So if you want to favor one of these two levels, then definitely use this one. This one has much better probabilities that it will reject the price here. We can use, okay, so we have a naked POC down there. And this is exactly what I was talking about, I think at the start of a stream or in my latest videos that I'm uploading to YouTube. You can be using like a bunch of tools, a bunch of different tools, but in the end, you will get pretty similar zones if you are not using zones like some random TA or just a simple market structure. If you are using some zones or approach that actually works, then most likely, most of the time, you will get a pretty similar level. So here, for example, you have naked POC, which is absolutely different approach from supply and demand. In the end, it makes sense because it's all based on volume, but like these two things, I see a lot of, ICT, SMC traders using just supply and demand. If you're gonna combine this with more tools, you can be getting like better confluences, and you can actually be confirming if there was demand in this case, because this is a demand volume profile shows me that, okay, there was a big amount of positions executed or big amount of money transacted, shows me that, okay, there is a high probability chance that we will get at least some reaction out of this level. We also have a POC around this zone, but that's because there is a range formed, so it's not that valid, but you can class this as a confluence. Here in this case, okay, we are getting rejection out of this zone here, but this one is not really strong. Nothing here. And on BTC is going sideways. The poor high is from 30,370 to 30,500. I'm going to explain how I found it. Give me a minute. I'm just going to mark it out on a chart. So you can go to even lower time frame, something like this. And I'm going to be looking for this zone, not mitigated yet. But I'm really expecting that it's going to get something like this. It's going to continue higher, test this zone, and then remaining range bound. So really like the two zones that I'm paying attention to, long here, short here, that's it. I'm just waiting right now. all I can do. All right. So what do we want to check here? Oh yeah, I'm going to show you how I found on TPO the poor high. If you are completely new to TPO, TPO is a way of market profiling. So it shows you the profile of the market combined price vertically and horizontally. So when it's developed a lot to the right side, we spend here a lot of time. Simply said, this is a daily profile, meaning every single daily open, it's resetting. So this is previous day, yesterday, this is 2 days back, 3 days back here, okay? The theory of auction process is that the profile should be finished with only one block here. The one block here is based on a 30 minutes time period. So the 30 minutes is one block here, okay? If I'm going to open the candles and I'm going to set it to 30 minutes, then each candle or each box is a 30 minute. Here, as you can see, we spend here less than 30 minutes. That's why it shows only one block. So the profile should be finished by one block here and one block down there, which is, in this case, it's also finished here. It's also finished here, here, here. This is a standard auctioning process. This is how the profile should be looking. When it's not, it's very, very likely it's going to get retested. What I mean by very likely, today you have a 60% chance that the profile will be tested. Well, 60% is not that much, but you already have some edge over the others because statistically you know that there is a high chance, bigger chance than 50-50 that the price will move to this zone. If you combine this with the different levels, meaning supply and demand, you're going to use order flow, you will get even better entries and even better likelihoods that the price or this and that zone will be hit. This is exactly what I'm doing here. I'm combining this with supply and demand, I'm combining this with a liquidity grab, and I'm combining this with a footprint, so order flow. Order flow shows me exact orders on the left side is a buy, sell side is a sell. Next time we can talk about it a little bit more in depth, so I can show you what are the key parameters that I'm looking for, what are the key things that you need to be paying attention to before you're going to enter into position. But I'm going to shortly explain what I'm doing here. I'm going to try to find some example of the trades that we took this week. So let me just delete this. All right, so for example, this one. Or we can use, let me try to use some cherry pick, something that is going to be like easy to spot for educational purposes. I just want to show you the trade that was like pretty clear. Because for example, this one, we have to add like more ways, more tools, how we found the level. So let's use this one. It's going to be a bit easier. Okay, so we're going to start with marking out the liquidity. So liquidity, that's a different topic. It's a whole topic about how you can spot liquidity, what is a liquidity, why it's being grabbed, and so on. Let's just keep it simple right now, and let's just say that, okay, we want to use liquidity, we know how to find it. This was the liquidity level. So once you hit the level, once it's been grabbed or swept from the market, then I'm opening this chart and I'm trying to spot what's exactly happening behind the market. What I mean by that is that you want to see exact orders come into the market, how if you have more positions being opened, closed, and so on and so on. This can automatically give you like a really big edge over the others, which is basically the thing that you are looking for. So 16th of June, 4 p.m. Let me load up the chart and let me show you this trade. 4 p.m. is right here. So very simply said, I'm just going to try to keep these things as simple as possible. Obviously, it has much more theory behind it. You need to have some experience with that and so on and so forth. But right now, we're just going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So we're going to start with value area. What is a value area? Well, that shows you 70% of orders positions transacted inside that candle. So from here we know that 70% of the positions were transacted inside this highlighted area. You see how this zone above it and below it is like grayed out. So this is the rest, this is the 30%, but the most amount of it, 70% specifically, depends on what settings you're going to use, but most of the time you will see either 68 or 70. So 70% in this case, right here inside this highlighted zone. Next thing is I'm checking volume. I want to see that, okay, there will be a high demand in trading. If I'm looking for a liquidity grab, we are looking for big traders, because the theory behind it is that big traders, banks, institutions, just the big players overall are grabbing the liquidity, filling their big positions. We need to see a big volume. How can I spot high volume, big volume? Well, you don't have to pay too much attention to the numbers that you see here. I really don't want to overcomplicate things. I want to keep it as simple as possible for now. So just pay attention to colors. If there is a, basically I use like a different color fading for these data, for the statistics that I have here. But obviously when it's like a really vibrant color, really like a dark color here, it shows you that there is a lot of volume, meaning more volume than on last 50 of these boxes. So it gives you the average, and then the color fading is based on that. So here you have 42 million, which shows you that there is a high demand in transacting or creating, entering positions, closing positions, stopping people out, and so on. So this shows me that there is, okay, high volume. So second confirmation, I see value area that needs to be here in the wick. So trapped value area is that the fully in the wick. This is the candle body, as you can see right here. This is the candle wick. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. This is the wick, and this is the candle body, the highlighted zone here on the left side of this candle. Confirmation number 1, high volume is confirmation number 2. We have a pretty negative delta, confirmation number 3, with a negative 24%. I'm going to explain this more in depth, but next time maybe. But I have all of my confirmations. I see the real data from the exchange, what's happening. Only then I can take a position. I'm never entering positions without having access to the exo charts on BTC. You may be asking why. Well, it's just because that I have certain probabilities, certain chance that the trade is going to play out, and so on and so forth. So once again, following my strategy, following my plan, and I'm targeting the opposite side with a lot of liquidity sitting. Oh yeah, someone is asking, I wanted to know if I want to have order flow for gold and Forex like you have for BTC, what DX feed package I need. There are a lot of them and I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let you know that I'm answering right now on the stream. Alright, so I'm gonna change this to Safari. Okay. So the DX feed data provider for ExoCharts, you need to pay more for like a Forex futures and so on. In the standard package that you get, you will get access to crypto. So I think Bybit, Binance, what else? BitMEX, you have spot, you have futures, that's all. If you want to use futures, so for gold, Euro USD for example, you need to click on data here. I'm going to show you the package that you need to buy. I'm trying to find it, give me a second. You need to buy, it costs $39, I believe. one. It's gonna be here, I think. Okay, so it's not in the platforms, but you need to buy the package that costs $39. I don't know why, but I can't find the EXO charts right now. No, it's not here. Oh yeah, right here. Okay, so you need to buy this one. Oh, no, not this one. This one. This should be enough. Yeah, that's it. Obviously, you can go for this one. That gives you like a DOM market depth. But I think this should be okay. But it's definitely better if you're gonna contact them and if you're gonna ask them specifically and tell them what you are looking for. But this should be enough for you. Let's check the Forex calendar, what we have here. So today is the 22nd. We have unemployment claims that happened already. And we have the Fed Chair Powell testifies. So this will have some impact on the market, but right now, as you can see, nothing is happening at all. We go back here. Price is literally going sideways, yeah. As you can see, no movement on BTC. Gold is getting movement down out of this zone here, but there was like a small liquidity grab, nothing that you can be trading actually, or at least not for me. So liquidity grabs, swept, now move down, and we can get potential another sweep down there, but definitely not looking to trade this. And Euro USD. Okay, so we are actually hitting this zone on Euro USD now. I'm gonna be looking for breaking this level here. If you want to be really aggressive, you could be looking for something like this. All right, so if you can potentially lose this zone, which happens right now, very, very aggressive move. I'm gonna start looking for retracement here. Catching trade out of this zone. All right, so this zone is now very, very important. I will start looking for something like this, potentially. But once again, remember, this zone is much more stronger than this one. Just because this is the one that started the whole move down and created this break of a structure. Oh, I'm still sharing. I'm still sharing the wrong screen. I'm sorry. I should be able to see right now. My bad. Right here. This is the zone potential that you could be looking for, but we still haven't lost this level here. So there is still a lot to go down there. Lose this level up here. This can take another, 1 or 2 hours to create this price action. What about BTC? No, nothing really here.